All right, good Tuesday, everyone. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King, joined by Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Allison Gargaro. How are you today?
Doing great, Jamie. We are tracking now Tropical Storm Nicole. That's just in as of 10 o'clock on this Tuesday morning.
Well, it looks like we've got a hurricane on our hands potentially. Forecast here to come out of the Bahamas as a hurricane, a Category 1, with winds at around 75, and then making a move toward the peninsula, where, Allison, it looks like it begins to decrease, as it should, in intensity as it loses the warm water source that keeps these tropical systems really punchy and energetic. Winds at 70 there at 7 a.m. on Thursday.
And then it continues across the Florida Peninsula up toward the Big Bend region and then recurving back toward the north and east, impacting all the states to our north.
Incredible.
But we do want to mention that the wind's likely going to be very, very widespread across the Florida Peninsula, the entirety of our viewing area.
So another aspect in this is that we've lost the subtropical description of this, now purely tropical, and now will advance into hurricane status as we look through the near-term forecast cycle. And that is why, Allison, we now have hurricane warnings up for the coast of Volusia County on down into Brevard and points south. All the red shade here, these are tropical storm warned areas, and off to the west here in the pink, these are tropical storm watches at this time. Because
we're going to be seeing an increase in those winds as this system does make its way on shore. And this is a great graphic to show the timing of that. So we're seeing arrival time of the winds. That doesn't mean that it's going to end right after that. It's when it will start and then continue over several hours after that. So moving into coastal Brevard County and points south by 8 p.m. on Wednesday, and then moving up to the Big Bend region, north central Florida. That's our Fox 51 viewing area by Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning. But you can see what's in between that is most of the viewing area. So that does include Orlando.
So gusty winds couldn't become damaging. We talked tropical storm force around 40 miles per hour higher. So that can really wreck roof shingles, take down trees, power lines. Power outages are probably in the cards here, Allison.
On Thursday as well as on Friday. So we just want to make sure that you guys have your preps ready to go as this system is slowly inching closer and closer to the Florida Peninsula.
Now the canopy, Al, of tropical storm force shaded here in the yellow. So by tomorrow morning, early morning hours, 1:30, we start to see that encroaching on the Space Coast, literally on top of the Cape, perhaps southern southeastern coast of Volusia County. And then as we go deeper into the morning by 10:30, we've got a ball game here.
It really starts to move across the interior. So that's all starting Wednesday. And then some of the stronger winds associated with that circulation still offshore at this time. But you can see as the system makes its way closer and closer to Brevard County, the potential for some of those hurricane storm force winds by Thursday at 5:30 in the morning.
Yep, and that is going to be a big blow there wherever this sets up. Very strong winds. You'll see that corridor of winds go inland. It'll shrink up pretty quick, and then we track that northbound as we get into Friday at 2 a.m. So still, Allison, I think we can agree, locally breezy, maybe windy. There could be a few showers around, as normally we have on a circulating tropical system as they exit up to the north and try to bend stage right. Sometimes there's that little piggy tail of moisture coming through. So there may still be a few showers around during that time. This is our exclusive Fox model. You'll see here only on Fox 35. No one else in town has it. I dare you to try to find it. You will not. But boy, this was a top performer during Hurricane Ian. And now with Nicole, this thing is really showing its might as far as a very flexible, very powerful forecasting tool we have here at Fox 35.
And you can see some of the strongest winds going to be on the outer edge of that circulation. And that's why we talk about hurricane warnings in Brevard County for exactly this reason. As soon as that center does make its way on shore, it's going to be bringing those very strong winds with it across the interior. You can see some of them up toward the Orlando metro and then continuing off to the north and west. Now, this specific model has that center of circulation over the Gulf of Mexico. That's still in the cone of uncertainty. That's why it is large when it moves this way. So we'll be seeing exactly where some of those very strong winds could be. But by Friday at 7 a.m., it looks like those winds really decreasing in intensity as that center of circulation pushes up to the north.
Now, that's some great news right there. But we got to get through the rough stuff, obviously, first here. So that, again, will go and affect multiple states, Allison, as we take you into the weekend. So we also monitor here in the Fox modeling. We look at rainfall potential. And we watched on Good Day Orlando this morning these numbers number is exponentially increasing. As forecast confidence increases, these numbers are going to continue to rise, and we're in that range. We've been looking for 3 to 6 inches in many locations. Here you go.
Exactly. Some spots could be a bit higher, and that's going to be locally heavy rain. So right now, some of the spots could be Sanford as well as up toward Gainesville, but something that we'll be watching. And as the new model runs do come in from our partners out at Fox Weather, we will be getting those updates and sending them to you directly.
All righty. And we also been doing a great job keeping on top of the county by county forecast. And I not only say county by county, but literally, Allison, kind of an hour by hour outlook here as we show you here specifics. The heaviest wind starting in Brevard County on Wednesday, 1 a.m. It looks like we'll peak Thursday between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. and we'll end things up on Thursday by 9 p.m. Still breezy out there, maybe some stronger wind gusts, but the main meat and potatoes of Nicole's impacts upon Brevard County will be beginning to decrease. 55 to 70 on the winds, we're thinking, with 85-mile-per-hour gusts. We've got 3 to 6 inches of rain, coastal flooding, and about a 5-foot storm surge right along the Brevard County coastline. Incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah,
and the coastal flooding going to continue up our entire East Coast. So something to think. If you're maybe in Daytona Beach, maybe you don't live here, you're vacationing, that's going to be some major impacts. Beach erosion.
Huge. I hate to see that. The beach is just getting decimated. We're in a full moon cycle right now. So tides are always a little bit higher as we look at the high tide cycles. And when you factor in on top of the naturally higher tides because it's a full moon, and bring the cold's impacts in now, that's when we really see some sharp water rises. That explains the 5-foot storm surge forecast. Allison, tell us about Seminole County. Heavily populated, a lot of great folks with some impacts here.
100%. And you can see the arrival time, at least the onset, is going to be a hair later than what we see with Brevard County, because Brevard County is going to be getting hit first with those winds as well as the rain. So onset for folks that live in Seminole County, Lake Mary, Sanford, Oviedo, 4 p.m., but peaking anywhere between 6 a.m. on Thursday through 1 p.m. But take a look at the sustained winds, 45 to 55, with gusts up to 65 miles per hour. So still going to be gusting, even though we saw on the latest track that the storm does decrease in intensity as it moves across the land. That doesn't necessarily mean that we still won't be seeing some very impactful wind gusts in Seminole County as well as in Flagler, Jamie.
Right, and Flagler County as well. We got to keep an eye on this area as well, because you've got less friction over the water. So if these winds freshen up, if the forecast maybe deviates a little bit more to the north than we're thinking now, it could happen. It happens all the time when you forecast tropical stuff here. When you look at tropical meteorology, less friction over the Atlantic. So the winds along the immediate coast in Flagler, it could breach moving into hurricane force, 74 miles per hour or higher. So we've got our eyes on that, but now still under a tropical storm warning, Allison. Palm Coast to Flagler Beach to Bunnell, winds at 40 to 50. We'll see gusts maxed at 65, onset Thursday, 5 a.m. And then Thursday, 12 p.m. to Friday, 12 a.m. That'll be our peak. We'll wrap things up by Friday at 7 a.m. in the morning, with rainfall estimates there on the order of about 3 to 6 inches or so. Could come in a little bit lower, could come in a little higher, depending on storm track.
And Volusia County now under a tropical storm warning, but that coast is under that hurricane warning. Just something to keep in mind if you do live there. We could be seeing gusts as high as 80 miles per hour, and this likely peaking 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So a little bit earlier than what we'll be seeing across the interior. But again, coastal flooding going to be of big concern, and we need to make sure that you are getting your preparations done now, especially if your house, your property, your family or friends does flood. When we see the rivers rise or even the tides, make sure that you have those sandbags. That's going to be very, very important as we head throughout the day today and early tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we're down there a lot on our boat and Ponce Inlet and in Volusia County, and there's a lot of areas that are still a mess. There's still roofs with tarps and piles of debris and garbage everywhere. So we'll be tracking closely Volusia County. Rest assured, we got you covered there. And lastly, Allison, I want to take a look at Orange County, Orlando Metro, from Seminole to Orange down to Osceola. Effects generally in the same ballpark for the most part, right? So onset at 4 p.m. Wednesday in Orange County. Thursday, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. we'll have our peak, and we'll wrap things up. Winds easing Thursday at 10 p.m. 40 to 50 miles per hour. Our gusts is 65 with 3 to 6 inches of rainfall. So this is going to be impactful for the whole viewing area, no matter where you are.
That's exactly right. So we just want to make sure that you are having those preps, and one of them being charge your devices. So if you maybe lose power, you can't turn on the TV, you can download the Fox 35 News app and actually watch us live as well as the entire team right on your cell phone. So very important that you get those charged and make sure you have enough food and water for at least 2 days.
All righty, good advice, Allison. Okay, that's a wrap here for us. We'll continue to update you on all of our social platforms here on YouTube as well. And of course, join us for our broadcast and our hourly updates all the way to the end of Nicole's passage here in Central Florida. I want everyone to check back in with us, depend on us, trust us, make us your tropical trackers now and forever. We got your back, Central Florida, and if you've got interest here, we've got your back as well. So keep it here. We'll keep everyone up to date. That's all for now.